Joseph Turchi joins us in our virtual green room. That's where he is right now. His book is so cool. I mean, that's the word for it. I was thinking today, what is the word for his book? And it just makes you think about your family. It makes you think about that daily dose of positivity. The book is called The Quotationary Manifesto. It is a positive daily dose of inspiration to instill motivation and undergo transformation. I mean, that says it all. So we're very excited to have him here on Author's Corner with me, Kate Delaney, here on America Tonight. Joseph, thanks as always for coming on.
My pleasure, but thank you as well.
You and I have had some great off-air conversations. We have things in common: Philadelphia, Jersey, the shore. Some people listening to us, even if they're in Utah, have been to the Jersey Shore. And family, and the importance of family, and what you go through when you start off in a career, and when you start off in a marriage and with children, and just the life cycle. So what was it, before we go there, that made you write this book?
I think the bottom line was, books changed my life. I can go back when I was growing up, family in South Philly, almost a row home, just like Rocky rides through the movie. And I had 9 brothers and sisters. My parents were poor, and I'm going to fast forward this quick, but and we didn't even think about, in South Philadelphia, you didn't even think about you were going to go to college. I was fortunate enough. There was times when, as kids, I was the oldest. I didn't even have. We couldn't even have money to have breakfast on certain mornings because my father didn't pay his bills. So that was just a poor feeling. I didn't like it. But fast forward, I go to Penn State, which I was not a very good student. I really did not read many books. Did not want to read any books at Penn State, but I was forced to. But when I came out of college, I became an educator, a teacher in Philadelphia. And my first paycheck, my first annual yearly salary was going to be $8,900. I looked at it and I said, oh my God, I'm in the same situation my parents were. So I said, I have to change this. And immediately, I said, what am I going to do? And I just started reading some books on real estate. And Kate, I just got to tell you, I spent 2 years, two years reading books on real estate, and I developed a system to start investing in real estate properties. So I did that, which again, I go back to why reading is so important, because one of my quotes is, readers are leaders and leaders are readers. But I say that again because those 2 books launched off something for me in terms of what another author teaches, and Robert Kiyosaki teaches 4 quadrants, which is, first, you're going to be employer, which that means you're going to be broke. Second, you kind of get self-employed, which is when I created that real estate company. I'm still self-employed though. And then I transferred it to being a business owner, because I began an entertainment company in Philadelphia. And I had 35 entertainers working for me in this business that I created. And I only say that because, again, it was a book. I started reading other books like Think and Grow Rich, The Magic of Thinking Big. And, everything started hitting me. It's like, what changed my life was reading. So I went back and I developed I'm not sure if you even know this. I wrote my first book, and both books I wrote when I was 70 years old. So you can never quit. Just don't quit. There's always hope. You have I think in your office you have a sign that says believe.
Yeah.
You have to believe in yourself. So, and that the books created my self-confidence. They created my self-esteem. So that's why I developed this Quotationary Manifesto. But before that, in the same year, I wrote another book called 7 Laws and Principles That Govern Success. And in that book, I really kept it simple, but I took all the principles from that, and all I did with that was, it was a proven, simple method of creating happiness and less stress in your life. And I say stress because negativity is so horrible today, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. That also tied into why I wrote Quotationary Manifesto. But my first book you can get online as well, Amazon. But it's just 7 quick principles, and one of them is readers are leaders. The other one is a PMA, which is a positive mental attitude. And I have a quote in there from Charles Swindoll. It talks about attitude, and just a little caption of it is, our life is determined by 10% of what happens and 90% of how we react to it. So I could have, at $8,900 a year, stayed in that position and been satisfied. So all I did was fast forward this. For 12 years, I read quotes. For 12 years, I libraried these quotes because I knew what I was going to do. I just didn't have that, the whole concept. So for 12 years, I accumulated over 4,000 quotes that I read. Over 400 topics. So when I say topics in this book, I put it like quotationary, I put it like a dictionary. The dictionary starts with, let's just take the word adversity. We'll take a word like leadership. So it's A, and it goes all the way through Z, and you could just track it down. It's so simple. But if you're experiencing adversity for this day, you go to my book. And everything I have is in a positive format of how you can get out of this adversity. If, I'm going to give you one. If I could, could I go to my book for 1 second to give you one?
Sure. Let's hear it.
All right. So I just kind of picked this one up. It's called Quitting. It's Q. It's in the alphabet, but it says, this is by Christopher Reeve, who we know was Superman. He says, don't give up, don't lose hope, and don't sell out. So if you're having a hard day and you're thinking about quitting, just read something like that. And that's what I look at and I say, this is why it was powerful for me. I know for a fact it's going to be powerful for somebody else. The other one I'll just read real quick is Thomas Edison. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try one more time. So that's just if you felt like quitting, you go to the word quit and you look these simple quotes up, but they spin your thought process. They spin you from negativity to positivity. I'll give you a quick kid story for my kids. And this is the God's honest truth. When my kids were growing up, we took dictionaries in our house and, new dictionaries. I'd call my 3 children over and I say, guys, we're going to have a team meeting. And now kids at the time said, oh, no, Dad, another team meeting. But in this dictionary, I would literally have my son get one of my work tools, my razor blade, and we cut the word quit out of the dictionary. My children never were ever going to quit.
Wow.
But it was that part of the dictionary, but it was also that part of me feeling so strongly that I can help other people. On a side note, I've been a life coach for over 30 years. So I've seen so many things in people's lives that this was meant for me to go serve other people. To write these 2 books is only my hope that somebody can pick up my book and somebody can just transform, just like we talked about in the book, transform their life. A little bit of motivation, inspiration can transform anybody's life, in my opinion, because it's changed mine. I went from a poor, broke kid in South Philadelphia to a teacher who was still going to be broke, even though I was a good teacher. That's not boasting, I just was. But anyway, I just felt that I needed to serve other people.
I love it. I love, as you say, setting it up, the quotationary, because every day there may be something that you're struggling with. even if you are a go-getter or seem pretty successful, everybody has those moments, those challenges for sure. I love the Napoleon Hill quote that you have. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Yep. That's why I always say, it's like you said, readers, learning, all of that, to be curious, because then that also smokes out that desire, like you figured out. Hey, you were good at teaching, you want to be a teacher, but you realize, wow, if I want to have a family, if I don't want to be broke and struggling from paycheck to paycheck, I gotta put my eggs in other baskets.
Yep. And that comes from a book again, Robert Kiyosaki. You know, I won't take the credit for that, but he did teach me through reading these books. You know, another book I think about this, you know, was kind of twisted, turned me around a little bit, was Life is Tremendous by Charlie Tremendous Jones, who was my friend. He's from Pennsylvania as well, Mechanicsburg. But if you pick up a book, and I give this book out a lot, just for free, just to change people's, you know, mentality. If you pick up a book and it's all about life is tremendous, and then you go to work and you got all this negativity, you have to figure out how to balance, how do I get out of this work negativity, this relationship poison or something? And that's why I think books can change your life.
Yeah, they can. I think they can change your life. And again, we're talking with Joseph Turchi. The name of the book is The Quotation Manifesto, a positive daily dose of inspiration to instill motivation and undergo transformation. I love it, love it, love it. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble for a song. You can get it however you want to devour it, paperback or a hardcover, but it really, really is inspiring. We could talk all day, but Joseph, we're out of time. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Kate. I appreciate just, you know, allowing me to share something with your listeners, and possibly if we touch one person's lives, this was a success for me. And I am so appreciative you gave me the time just to share what I believe people have the potential for. So thanks so much, Kate.
Yeah, absolutely.